How do you define a supercar? For me, a supercar has to be exclusive with an out-of-this-world price tag. It has to have earth-shattering performance and the ability to hit more than 300 kilometers an hour. And it also has to look magical. So what do we make of this, the Audi RS6? Let's hit the track at Phillip Island and find out. The RS6 offers the ultimate in real-world performance, with amazing punch from its twin-turbo V8 coupled with a usable body shell that offers none of the compromise of an exotic coupe.
Here we are in the RS6 at Phillip Island, Australia's fastest permanent racetrack in Australia's fastest station wagon. The RS6 is a hell of a car. It's got a 4-litre V8 with twin turbos that help it produce 412 kilowatts and 700 newton meters, which is a hell of a lot of power for a family wagon. Now the car has an 8-speed automatic transmission with flappy paddles linked to a quattro all-wheel drive system, which means you really can use the most of that power through corners, hauling it out of there like just about nothing else on the road. Now there aren't many wagons that you'd really want to take to a racetrack, but this is certainly one of them. The RS6 is a very special car. Audi has a long history of producing some fast wagons, dating back to the original RS2, which was developed jointly with Porsche, and then some RS4 and RS6 models since then that have added a huge amount of performance in a practical wagon body style. Around the track here, the car feels surprisingly nimble for something of its size. All that power really does help it move around quite a bit, and there's massive grip from those massive wheels and huge 420mm carbon ceramic brakes that really do help you on the big stops like the one we've got coming up now, going down into MG Corner. It's a very complete car, this, and one that is really impressive to have a bit of a fang.
Priced from $229,500 plus on-road costs, it's a fairly expensive car. And that's before you start factoring in $25,000 for a dynamic plus pack that swaps air suspension for steel springs, raises its top speed from 250 to 305 kilometers an hour, and brings enormous carbon ceramic brakes.
The RS6 is great, but it's not perfect. There are a few little things about the car that you'd improve, particularly if you're going to be driving it fast on places like a racetrack. Now to start with, the seats. Now they look great and I'm sure they'll be comfortable on a long journey. In fact, they're great to just cruise around like we are now. But when you're really up it on a racetrack, I'm not really sure that they provide the sort of support that you'd be looking for when you're doing high G cornering. You can really feel like you're falling out of the chair a bit. That's something a couple of motoring riders here experienced, not just myself. Now another factor is that the car is very heavy. It's getting on for 2 tons, and it means that it can feel a little bit weighty and not as nimble as you'd like from something smaller. Now we had a chance to drive the naturally aspirated, much smaller Audi RS4 wagon here today as well, and I found that car was much more alert and a bit more dynamic to drive and really lively, and just a better thing on a racetrack generally. But it is a compromise. In the RS6 you've got something that's a lot bigger and it's better suited for carrying a family or having more stuff in the back, and it's also really much faster on a straight, the RS6, than the RS4. So it's a bit of a toss-up. You can't really have it all in the one car.
But that wagon body shell isn't for everyone. If you'd prefer something slinkier, the 4-door RS7 is available for an extra $12,500, but it brings the same performance as it shares its underpinnings with the RS6 wagon.
So is the RS6 a supercar? Well, it certainly has massive straight line performance, 0 to 100 in just 3.9 seconds, and a top speed of 305 kilometers an hour, fitted with the Dynamic Plus pack that we have here. Those, by any measure, are supercar numbers. It's also incredibly exclusive. It's a very expensive car, about 230 grand before you start adding options, which puts it into a fairly exclusive territory. And to me, it looks absolutely mega. It's got this pumped out body style, big box arches, angry looking spoilers at the front and rear. It is the complete package.
So there you have it, the Audi RS6. It's fast, it's exclusive, and it looks absolutely out of this world. It's the most practical supercar on sale.